Good evening, national TV audience, TNT big game field. This is a playoff game. Do not be mistaken about it. Let's go beyond atmosphere. This is a playoff game for the Kings today. If you want to say the play-in is part of the playoffs, these two games, consider it part of the play-in too. A chance to swing the standings and really put the Mavericks, if the Kings were to win both of these games against the Mavericks, they would have a 3-game lead in the loss column. Think about this. 3 games with 9 to go. Big time stuff. We'll talk about it more on the other side. This is the pregame show on If You Don't Like That.
2, 1, go.
Another Sacramento miscue. Carter. Stolen by Williams. And look at this. Oh, you don't like that. You don't like NBA basketball.
Fox. Goodbye. Oh, if you don't like that, you don't like NBA basketball. The exclamation point from De'Aaron Fox. Oh, if you don't like that, you don't like NBA basketball.
Boy, that's an ESPN highlight right there. Whoa. Carlson comes in. How about this? Holy moly, Jim Bob Foley. That is a major league smush.
Welcome back in. Ryno and Sacktown here, taking you up to the Kings and the Dallas Mavericks. Luka was listed as questionable. He's playing. Don't buy into that for a second. The Mavericks, let's talk about them for a second. They are winners of 8 of 9. They're playing really, really good basketball, and they're doing it a whole different way. And I say that because in this 9-game stretch for the Mavericks, they're only shooting 32.4% from beyond the arc. So tonight, what's it going to be? Can the Kings defend the arc tonight? And what's the game of attrition going to look like tonight? We've got a better idea of Coach Brown's lineup. We do. And his rotation, I should say. However, do you go a little bit deeper into the bench at times during this game? I think you have to consider it if you are Coach Brown, especially when and if Luka and Kyrie get going. And I think the zone defense tonight, everyone, the zone defense. Can the Kings effectively make the Mavericks beat them from beyond the three-point line? Don't give roll guys wide open threes. Make roll guys beat you. There's a difference between the two. Welcome, Alberto. What's up, man? Do you know if Luka's a go? He's going. We covered it. Adam, welcome. Kings haven't dealt with injuries in 2 years. In a weird way, I think the injuries have helped that galvanize and get their swagger back a little bit to a degree. The Kings were put into a corner, I think, and actually it's a corner I don't think Coach Brown minds. This is the basketball that Coach Brown has always wanted this team to play. Think about it. When Coach Brown came to Sacramento, defense. And Coach Brown actually has had 2 teams where he's coached the entire season who have led the league in defending the three-point line. So the team's capable. The scheme's there, and the Kings had, by default, because of injuries, had to change their tune. So good thing there. Ash, what's up? Ryan and Sacktown lays the smackdown. I like that. Thanks, Ash. Appreciate it. Ash is working on a song for the show. And the Smackdown. Smack is a Rome thing. If you guys don't know, I'm heavily involved in that show. Yes, I can feel it too. Sup? How you doing? Fat Mr. Clean. I like the handle. Sup to you. See, everybody is in some good moods tonight. Luka is in. Yes, we've already talked about that. Did you guys see Draymond, by the way, earlier tonight? Did you guys see that? Not a good look. Not a good look whatsoever. Steven, it is Ryno. Yes, I go Ryno because my name's Ryan. So, and the Ryno thing, it just kind of happened organically. It's kind of weird. And then my son, he's gotten all into it. That's why there's a little Ryno right there on the basketball. That's from him. But anyways, yeah, I was called Bo mostly growing up. So Ryno is an adjustment. Enough about me though. Yeah, the Kings can do it, Ash. I agree, Jose. Kings play defense like yesterday. I say they win. I don't disagree. I don't disagree with that, but the question to me is the transition game and shot selection. If you didn't listen to the Kings Court today, that's my daily podcast. Coach Brown talked about a lot of the things after the game last night that we talk about all the time on the Kings Court. We talk about on If You Don't Like That. We've talked a lot lately about valuing possessions and winning the possession game. Coach Brown went all into it. So transition, add that to defense, the transition game, shot selection, and can the Kings win that? In the last 2 games, the Kings have won the transition game. And here's the other thing. They've also won the free throw game. You guys have heard me talk about this. My college coach preached it every single game. Didn't matter who we played. It was this. You got to make more free throws than the other team takes. It doesn't happen a lot of times. It doesn't. But when it does, you're usually winning the game or you're in a position to win the game. And the Kings have done it twice. So something also that I think needs to be looked at tonight. Walt, what's up? I called out of work to watch this game. I love it, Walt. I love it. It's a good one to call out for. The Kings show up on TNT. They usually play well. Domas, he's getting the run right now. A lot of people, check this out. Let's slow down for a second. A lot of people think that SGA is the MVP this year. What do you guys think about that? He does have 50 games where he scored 30 or more. It's a pretty impressive stat. You know what OKC's doing. I can't argue with it. I don't think I can, but Domas's name, not really in those discussions, but first team All-NBA, I think that discussion is going to be a little bit different. Frog, what's up? Don't think the Kings will win this one. Interesting. Frog's got a prediction. Coach Brown gets tossed. Frog, if that happens, I'll send you some gear. Tell you what, I like bold predictions. In fact, Mr. Rome, Jim, we both have shows now. So let's be professional about this. Sorry, I'm embellishing. Get it? Yeah. Jim, are you going to take my offer or not? And those that have listened the last couple of days, you know what the offer is. So I am still waiting on an answer from him. But interesting, Frog. I'll send you gear if you're right. I like bold predictions. Jose, Ellis on Luka or Kyrie? A little bit of both. You're going to see him on Ellis, or you're going to see him on Ellis. Yeah. You're going to probably see him a little bit more on Kyrie. And this is why I think you want him on Kyrie. I think you want that next pass off of Luka. And I think the length of Keegan Murray, Harrison Barnes, and sometimes maybe even De'Aaron Fox, I think that bothers Luka a little bit. So I don't think it's going to be a lot of one-on-one situations. It will happen. Transition, that will be part of it. But I think the Kings are going to zone the hell out of the Mavericks tonight. Think about this. We haven't seen these two teams really meet this season. The Mavericks with Lively and some other guys, they've been playing. I think it was Blake that hit us up on the text line yesterday that said the Mavericks have been doing a lot more in the paint. And he's right. The Mavericks have been doing much better in the paint lately. And both times the Kings saw the Mavericks in both wins. So we haven't talked about the tiebreaker. We can talk about that in a second. But they played the night before the Mavericks, and one of them, I believe it was Milwaukee, and I believe the other was Boston, I want to say. So let's get a clean sample size. I get it's a back-to-back for both teams, but the Kings have transformed. There's no arguing that. If you want to argue that with me, you need to go to a different show. The numbers say it. You don't jump to 15th in the NBA in defensive rating or whatever they're at right now. You don't do that. So the numbers back it up that this team's changed, but the Mavericks have changed too. So that's why tonight's so damn interesting to me. Ben, what's up? And if you're going to the game, let us know. And Grant and Jerry right here at halftime. Hopefully you can join us back. Kings match up well. Luka guarded by Murray, Barnes, etc. works well. I just like our matchups. Yeah, I don't disagree with you. I don't. But we haven't seen Luka and Kyrie playing efficiently together. And think about Kyrie. Did you guys see the shot in Denver? That was stupid. You don't do a left-handed shot with the game on the line 20 feet from the bucket. Luka's face was priceless, but the two of them have meshed, and I think they were still having some growing pains the first two matchups, but I don't disagree with you, and that's why tonight again, Ben, I want to see how these teams match up with the style differences. Dave, welcome in, bud. Let's make it 3 in a row. I'm with you. Look, hey, I'm just going to keep rolling comments. You guys are killing it right now. Kings are due for a loss. It's not technically wrong if you look at the wooden roller coaster ride that they've put the fan base on this year, but something feels different. It just does. Edwards, game comes down to heart. I don't disagree. Coach Brown talks about the 50-50 balls, talks about taking charges, deflections, spray threes. That is all hustle. Peter, what's up, man? Keys to a Kings win. Shut down Luka and Kyrie. Pretty straightforward there. There's no doubt about that. Hey, I have another key for you, but it's for a different thing. That's right. It's brunch season, and Bennett's Westside Grill in Rockland, located in the Blue Oaks Town Center. That is the place to be. We talk about Bennett's all the time and their dinner offerings, but go check out the brunch menu. They've got great specials. You get a couple entrees, bottle of champagne, $44. Pretty hard to beat that. Also, they're accepting reservations online. I don't know. Easter might be filled up now. It might be filled up. You'll have to check, but definitely think about Mother's Day as well. Your mother will thank you. Trust me. That is Bennett's Westside Grill, located in the Blue Oaks Town Center in Rockland. And then obviously you guys know about the Bennett's other locations as well. So it's the Kings. It's the Mavs tonight. New Works Plumbing. Yeah, I'm rocking their logo tonight too. Shout out to New Works. Grant will show them some love later tonight. Kings, Mavs tonight. Luka averaging 34 a game coming into tonight. Rebounds. Now that to me is an interesting one. 9 rebounds a game, 9.9 assists. He's damn near averaging a triple-double. He hasn't really had that burn rate against the Kings the first 2 meetings this season. I don't feel like the Kings really got a big dose of Luka. So I would expect that. This game means so much to both of these teams. I think you guys know. This game, Dallas knows the ramifications of this one and the next one after tonight. So I just can't say how important it is. No, okay. And now the Pops guys, they're on the way to the game. Go show the Pops guys some love too. Pops Premium Meat Shops in Elk Grove. Mention the show, by the way, the King's Court. And you can get one of their 14 premium sausages for free. Pop's getting some love now. Pop's getting some love. Over under on Luka complaining. And by the way, guys, 96-91. Milwaukee leads the Lakers right now, 4:15 remaining in the fourth quarter. Getting back to the over-under, I don't know what to base it on. If you're talking about maybe technicals with Luka, he might get one. I would probably put it at 0.5 and take the over. But the complaining, you're going to see a lot of it. And what I would like to see the Kings do, and I would also like to see the refs do, and vice versa. If Fox is doing it, if anybody else is doing it, the Mavericks should take advantage of it. Let the guys play. I don't know why they continue delaying the game. Let them play. So maybe take advantage of that tonight if Luka is just really mouthing off, which he does a lot. He does a lot. Could Fox and Luka have coexisted? No, they could not. Peter's going over. Walt showing some love to Grant Adam. These guys want to win a championship. These are the games you got to go out and win. Sure. Yeah, can't say anything wrong with that. Excel, how you doing today? We can get better than the 6 seed. You can. The Clippers are struggling right now. Joe Namath struggling. So keep an eye on that. Also, at the bottom of the play-in, keep an eye on the Houston Rockets. That is also interesting. But as far as I'm concerned for this Sacramento team, doesn't matter. 7-game series, all I want. All I want, I don't care, 6, 5, 4, whatever it may be, 7-game series. Victor, so best case scenario is to split. It is, yes. The best case scenario, no. The best case scenario is to win both games. The split is kind of that walk away scenario. I think most Kings fans, and maybe if you shot some truth serum into the locker room, they might tell you the same thing, that a split would be okay. And it is for the Kings. And here's why. They have the tiebreaker then with Dallas because they've already won the first 2. So I would be okay with that. Or do you need to win both for the 6th seed? You absolutely need to win both for the 6th seed. Look at the Kings record coming home. Look at the road trip they still have to set out on after this homestand. They really need to start addressing the foul Sabonis is taking. It's getting ridiculous. It kind of is. I agree with you. And Sabonis doesn't really flop. He doesn't. I mean, I don't blame a guy in the NBA. If you got a chance to lay down and gather yourself, gather yourself. It's not a big deal. The floor is already wet. They're going to have to mop it up anyways. So I don't think he embellishes too much. But the refs had made a point this year, especially the second half of the season. I think the NBA has saw the balance really isn't good. After the All-Star game, the NBA was pissed. Did anybody catch Adam Silver during the trophy presentation? It was nuts. Anyways, I digress. I don't want to say there's an edict to let the guys play, but you can see they're letting a lot more go. Now, the problem is when you let things go and you have instant replay, those two are mutually exclusive. They do not mesh well. And you saw an instance of that with Malik Monk being pushed out of bounds, no recourse for it, and then tips challenges. So not to get on my high horse here, it does need to be addressed, but the way the Kings are playing, it plays into their favor right now. It does. As long as Domas doesn't take that shot, and you know what that shot is. Don't let anyone else beat you. Irving and Luka can. Yeah, I don't disagree. And that's, again, to me, that's why the zone defense is going to make a lot of sense in spots. Also, when the Kings are in man, you have to push those guys off their spots. I've said it all season. It's so important. You push the guys off the spots, it throws everything off with their offense. So if you are going to run a mix between zone and man, mix it up between the two so they're constantly off balance. Now, on the flip side, if you're Mike Brown and Dallas does the same to you, I want to see Coach take quicker timeouts in those instances. In the fourth quarter, last game, when Philadelphia decided to zone the Kings, it was ugly. You guys know I track possessions. I'm not going to go down them, but it was not good. And so that is an instance where I'd like to see a little bit quicker of a timeout, because I don't think the Kings have enough firepower to get over the top. I think that those little things are the big things for the Kings. I don't know about the over-under, Steve in Houston. Steve H., are you from Houston, buddy? I think I know who you are. Don't try to work me. Yes, Luka is a crybaby. Patrick, my man, thoughts on SDSU Connecticut? First thought, still waiting on the response from my wife about Rich's party in San Diego, but it's going to be physical. If SDSU, now the last game that SDSU played, they hit a ton of threes. They don't usually hit that many threes. So if it lands somewhere in the middle for the Aztecs there, and they're able to kind of play the style they want to play, because believe it or not, the Aztecs play very, very similar to the Kings. They let you know, or at least the Kings this last month, they let you know that you're there. And you're the first one to punch, as Coach Brown always says it. So I actually think SDSU can beat UConn. I think SDSU does beat UConn. And that's what the whole Jim Rome thing is about. It goes back to last year. It's a long story. Go listen to the Kings Court, and you'll get caught up on it. I don't want to waste everybody's time with it, but that's why the bet this year, because it's happening again, UConn SDSU, we're trying to do something fun with it. Yes, we hope that there is not crazy threes. Edward, do some mo. We're saying the Kings have the #1 defensive rating in the last something games. Defense is key. Yeah, I've talked the Kings, their defensive rating. Just look at their net rating. #1. That's the first thing, Edward. But yeah, if you look at the sample size for the Kings, and you could go 5. I've seen the stats for 7 games, seen the stats for 9, I think 11 and 15. So yeah, the stats are great. I think it's in the last 7 games. In fact, I know it is in the last 7 games because I went over it earlier. But I know in the last 7 games, yes, the Kings do have the #1 rated defense. Last 7 did not include last night, though, Edward. Did not include last night. We're getting closer and closer to tip off, y'all. Love all the messages. I will keep getting them up. Just to give you an update, 101 in Milwaukee, all tied up, 23 seconds left. Lakers with the ball. It looks like it may be decided on this possession. So we will keep you updated because that will decide when the Kings and the Mavs start getting ready to get going. Hey, do us a couple favors. First off, we would like to thank you. That is Grant's YouTube channel. That's where you may be at right now watching. If you're subscribed, thank you so much. Grant already hit 7,000. If you're not subscribed, scan the QR code, get subscribed. There's a lot of cool content that goes on besides Kings game days. I think you'll appreciate that. And I need your guys' help. So the Kings Court, that is my baby. That is my baby. But I changed the QR code. That is the QR code to my Twitter page, the Kings Court with Ryno. When I get to 1,000 followers on my Twitter page, if you guys follow me now, and you'll see all the audio there too, if you want to check that out. But if you go follow me, if you don't already, once we get to 1,000, I'm going to be announcing some get-togethers, a giveaway, which includes courtside seats and a game with me, and some other really, really cool stuff. So please, please, please go check out the Kings Court. I would greatly appreciate it. Give me a follow if you like Rome, if you like the Kings. It's your place for all Kings. All things Kings and clones. All right, y'all. Let's start getting some predictions in here. Let's do it. I'm not going to give you my prediction, but I want to hear yours. Matthew hopping back in saying the effort will be great because they're on national TV. Adam hopping in with an SDS. Oh, we're going WrestleMania too. So it's funny. It's funny. So I just hit up Matt George about this. If you guys remember, Adam, if you remember, Matt was going to come on the Kings Court. It hasn't materialized just because things are a little bit crazy. But Matt also likes the wrestling stuff. I like the wrestling stuff. So I'm trying to get a Kings Court and a mix of the Kings and WrestleMania with Matt. We'll do like a little, a mashup. I don't know what they call it. What do they call it on YouTube where they get all like the food and it's all like, yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Anyways, we're way off track. Peter getting us back on. Kings 110, 105 lights saying Kings 113, 108. Here's what I'll tell you. 115, 115 points by your Kings probably wins this basketball game. If your Kings are actually playing the same defense that they have been playing. Yeah, love it, Connor. Get loud, buddy. Get loud. Get the section in front of you loud. And on national TV, let the national TV audience know when they introduce the guest coach. Let them know that coach didn't vote for Domas, as an all-star. I think that'd be good. Flores hopping in. Kings by 3, 121, 118. Matthew, 123, 114, 113, 108. We got lights. Love it, y'all. All right, so remember, oh, wow, did we get a game winner? No game winner. 101, 101. It was an old Dame highlight. Dang it. All right, so the Lakers and the Bucks getting ready to wrap up right now in Milwaukee. Go check that out. We will have full coverage of the Kings tonight. Come back at halftime. Jerry will be here. Grant will be here. It will be a lot of fun. Thank you guys so much for being here on the pregame show. And have a great, safe first half. Go Kings. Light the beam.